Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and there is still a ton of community outrage over the whole pay-to-win situation going on in Battlegrounds and the new currency being added to Hearthstone. And I wanted to dive into this video, take a look at the consequences of what's likely going to happen with Runestones being added, if there's a possibility of more currencies being added or other changes, because once the floodgates open, you never know what's going to happen. And well, there's some interesting stuff that has been going on over in China that might indicate that maybe something else could happen. Before we do go into that though, I do have a giveaway going on for $300 worth of Hearthstone packs, not Runestones, at least not yet. Hearthstone packs out of my wallet. All you have to do is like and comment on the video in the description below, subscribe to the channel, and if we hit 58,000 subscribers, there will be a bigger and better giveaway. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. We're almost halfway through the next 1,000 already, so thank you so much for that. So what am I talking about? Funny enough, I was Googling Hearthstone Runestones to try and find an image for a thumbnail, and I noticed this image here. It showed convert Runestones to Arcane Orbs, and I'm like, I kind of remember this picture. I found an old Reddit thread from like 2 years ago of Runestones and Hearthstone, and it shows convert Runestones to Arcane Orbs. It's all glitchy. It's a template. We've seen the Deathlight stuff being, supposedly leaked. We don't know yet. Like the location template in the game. And this was something that just popped up randomly. And well, what happened is, if you take a look at this Out of Cards article, it goes into Runestones and Arcane Orbs. Very familiar, right? Runestones. We just had that added to the game. It's not new to Hearthstone. They've already tinkered with other currencies in other markets. And while this is an old article, this was implemented in China back in 2019, and it goes into details of what are Arcane Orbs and Runestones. So before we get like into panic mode, the Runestones here are very different than what we have. They're just probably reusing assets. It's for a whole different market, but kind of gives you an idea of the things they might do to get around certain laws. We'll talk about that in a second. So, stated in this article, I'll link it below if you want to check it out. Arcane Orbs and Runestones are both new resources related to the Hearthstone shop. Here's what we know about them. You can use both currencies to purchase different types of items in the new in-game shop in China. Again, this is in China. There are separate sections in the shop to use Arcane Orbs and Runestones. So there's like two different stores. So basically when I'm looking at it, it looks similar that Arcane Orbs basically act as gold. It doesn't sound like they have gold in China. So that's something to probably like get a sigh of relief about, where they're used to purchase card packs, right? They're not getting rid of gold. I bet you they thought about it though. I bet you they thought about just like getting rid of it all and being like, we'll just replace your gold with Arcane Orbs. But there'd be issues with that because, well, first they're capped, but yeah, you could earn Arcane Orbs through quests and events like you see with gold. There's a capped how many orbs you can own, encouraging spending. I've seen this in Marvel Snap. They have it where the credits where you can like upgrade cards are capped out for a rudimentary reason other than encourage spending, because you see people like hoarding gold, right? And the cap appears to be around 10,000. They even have apparently a quest called Embrace the Arcane. It rewards you with 800 Arcane Orbs for playing 3 games a mode, whatever. So yeah, there's these Arcane Orbs, and then Runestones are quite different. They're used to purchase Arcane Orbs, so you have this secondary currency thing here going on, right? And just like the Runestones in a Hearthstone, they can be purchased with real currency and cannot be earned in game. So that's been tested out. Runestones have functioned the exact same way in China, but you could convert them into Arcane Orbs at an unknown rate. So interestingly enough, I don't think Runestones will be able to be converted into Hearthstone gold, but maybe they will if they use this type of thing. It's very it's just all I just hate that we're talking about this. Like I just want to stick to gold and money. Like that's good enough. We already have Arcane Dust. We already have mercenary coins. Like we're adding so many different resources into the game that it will just create confusion, lost money for players, and that's like the whole issue with it. And it says, outside the information above, we aren't sure what the plan is for Arcane Orbs and Runestones. It is possible they could be a region-specific currency to get around loot box laws. With them being available from quests and events, the currencies will be used to catch players up on old content and something about card backs. So yes, this is likely the reason that Runestones are being added to Hearthstone is probably a lot less likely about being greedy and making the currencies not match, whereas it's about these loot box laws. We've seen it with Diablo Immortal, where 2 countries, Belgium and the Netherlands, ruled in-game random item boxes, also known as like loot boxes, to be illegal gambling in 2018, and this resulted in Diablo Immortal, a Blizzard property, being banned to being used in the Netherlands and Belgium. And we have seen these laws getting more and more traction in other countries, and instead of trying to, you know, adapt and like, you know, maybe we don't do loot boxes, it's all about, well, how can we manipulate the system? It appears Chinese laws are also quite strict about loot boxes. I think we've seen that with Overwatch as well with Blizzard, that they're trying to work around it through these currencies, and it seems to have worked. This Runestone Arcane Orb thing has worked, and it might be them just hedging and getting this done with now, so that in case they get, you know, problem with the law with loot boxes later, they have this system in place that they can work around it and not have to shut down shop in certain countries. And if you take a look, this is the fiscal revenue for Activision Blizzard by region from 2007. You can see how much revenue you have in the Asia Pacific, in the European regions, is roughly almost 50% of their revenue, where these countries are really cracking down on all the stuff, whether it's Europe, whether it's China, they're really cracking down on it. So I believe Blizzard is getting nervous and is willing to piss off the American audience, which is already, you know, spending a lot and all of that, to put in these extra currencies to get around that. So at the end of the day, do I think they'll be adding arcane orbs to Hearthstone to replace gold and circumvent this whole thing? I don't think so, but it is a slippery slope we are going down. We are now in a state where people are defending Blizzard. There are prominent like Hearthstone content creators defending Blizzard, saying it's okay for pay to win to be monetized, which has typically never been a thing. Like in Hearthstone, there's pay to win elements, but you can always craft any card in the game. You can always play any class in the game. You can always play whatever mode you want in the game. The only paywall is your time to acquire dust and resources and all of that. Or if you want to circumvent that with money, you can. However, in Battlegrounds, this is the first time we have seen where it's strictly pay to win advantage, because the only way to unlock additional heroes is by spending money. There is zero other ways. There's 100% paywalled pay to win. And yes, there are content creators that say it's fine because it's not that much money to them, at least $5 or $4 a month, but it gets a lot worse with foreign exchange in different countries. And again, it is a really slippery slope. We are going down an ethical train where all of a sudden, if we're normalizing these currencies to be okay, we're normalizing pay to win to be okay, because, well, it's only $5. Well, what if they restrict something next for $7 or $10? As the expression goes, you give them an inch, they take a mile, and you never know. That is why I'm so up in arms about this. You don't know what they'll do once that green light is lit. They get that revenue. They're not going to be like sharing it with us. Believe me, we're not going to be seeing deals in the summer sale. It goes to the shareholders, and then they're like, well, what else can we do? How can we get more profits? And that's why I'm so up in arms about it. It's frustrating because I don't like this precedent that's being set. So we'll see what happens. Will be shocked if they backpedal on the Runestones, on the pay to win aspects of Battlegrounds, unless it just backfires and everybody quits and the revenue actually does go down, which I don't want to root for because I care for the devs of the game and I want it to succeed. But at the end of the day, it's sketchy, it's scary, and I don't want to see a game that's riddled with multiple currencies and pay to win tactics. It's like, that's not the Hearthstone I got involved with. It's why I quit Marvel Snap already, and I just don't want to see it go down that road. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.